I can. Oh. 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 Yeah, I'm gonna do one-sided conversations. It's impossible to mute me, but I'm here. Hello, everyone. Hi. The stream's starting soon. Saturday. Hello. Not actually got the luxury to see this screen before, but I see it now. I actually really appreciate it. It's a nice screen. Reminds me of the eternal spirit of vengeance. Yeah. It'd be like that. How are you today? That's good. I'm glad. It's almost like we found a new place. One of mystery and adventure. Sometimes it be like that, though. Take a drink of water. For anyone who is here, hydrate regularly. Dehydration can be contributed with a loss of productivity. It can also influence one to have headaches, muscle cramps, and digestion. Gut problems. Don't want to have those. Water is the lifeblood of the world. We're not sponsored by water. But if you drink water, maybe you will. Water. It's been a while. We need more water. That's perfect, because we are starting soon. I will see you all soon.
Playing the trumpets of return. I have returned. Haha. How's it going? Enjoy your ASMR? I never opened up, new crib. I forgot to open up my character sheet. I feel so ashamed. Hello, Justin? Oh my goodness, I yelled I have returned, and I did not unmute myself on this end. Hello? Justin, are you there? Justin? Hello? Please answer me, Justin. You muted, Justin. I'm so alone. The despair is filling me. Did you leave? Who knows? Maybe you saw activity and you were like, oh. My strong insert PTSD flashback is playing in my mind. The time when I was all alone. So alone. The spike piercing through me.
You
Well,
said I was
hi,
getting
Hal.
water. I just said I was getting water.
I didn't hear you. I was too busy announcing my return.
That doesn't sound like a me problem.
I might actually need a fall suit, actually.
Yeah, this is the opening credits, so I mean, like...
Yeah, we're giving people time to arrive because this is like... Gosh darn early in the morning. Only Allens would be awake right now.
No, some Freds would be.
I won't... Yeah, but like Fred doesn't sleep. So... I don't consider that awake. I consider that not sleeping.
Oh, I see the PTSD flashback now.
I know! Oh, I love PTSD. Well, actually, honestly, the picture of PTSD flashback isn't as good as the actual picture. Oh, I love it! It's so cute! Kiku's just tired, but he's happy. He's smiling because his daughter's learning how to use knife and magic.
Don't get too reliant on magic.
I already know that, my request for you, what's her face? Izori did not go through.
I mean, you have no guarantee about that.
Yeah.
I don't have a guarantee about that either, but... We only saw a clip it. What if Izori came over and she was like, hi, and then they threw knives at a dartboard together?
Well, if Izori came by, revived the daughter, and left.
That would be weird, wouldn't it?
Wow.
I wouldn't expect that to happen at all. The God of Eternal Service doesn't like resurrections.
Yeah.
Zori would never go against the God of Eternal Service like that.
Okay, all of my high priestesses have gone against the God of Eternal Service and resurrected somebody. And she did it in the most casual fucking way. She was like, yeah, Miles isn't a person, revivify.
Yeah, Miles isn't a person. It's true, we fundamentally did not justify Miles as actually being a person.
And to be fair, he's the god of death.
Miles won't account to anything. He's just Miles.
Izori was like super like friendship with Miles and didn't count him as a person.
Sorry, fam. You're not real. You're like a dream fairy. You just kind of are there. You just kind of go. I don't classify you in the roster of humanity.
I was told that you weren't a real person, so you weren't a real person. Oni-chan told me so.
Sakura over here thinking that Miles is a real person.
Ah. He's so unreal, you can revive him without any bad thing happening.
Yeah, we could use the ancient artifact called the Book of the Dead to resurrect his head into a plate of armor.
We resurrected him twice!
Yeah.
We resurrected that dude twice. I forgot about like the first time count. I was just thinking, the first time I was like, no, we just made him into an undead. But no, that wait, was that pseudo resurrection?
No, we just raised him as an undead, which became nameless. And that was just an undead, but when he came back, because he came back from Happy Town, from a purgatory world, when this dude came back, it essentially resurrected the resurrected corpse, or the undead corpse. And somehow there was enough of Miles's soul in his head that they counted as the same entity.
Right.
So we did resurrect him, but we also then resurrected him.
That's fine. He wasn't a real person.
He wasn't a real person. If he was a real person, then we would have had a problem, but he wasn't a real person.
She went against the god of eternal service twice in her life, so casually she didn't even realize. Meanwhile, every high priest of staff to that goes, I really don't want to do this, but I'm gonna do this anyway, and I'm gonna pray for forgiveness.
Yeah, Pharaohs just had no chill. I think it's time for a little bit of a last time.
Gotta grab more water first.
Yes, go grab more water.
You can do the last time. I'll bring my speaker with me so I hear it.
Ah, I see what this was. It was a ruse.
It was a ruse. You have been bamboozled.
Put me into the position of speaking.
Yes. Take that. You great DM. I can actually call you that now because I've actually had you DM and not the server DM.
I've given you too much power. Last time. After starting our adventurous journey, we have finally managed to reach a different country. Beyond, of course, Brighton, the location where most of the entire story has taken place up until now. Yes, we went to a place called Mako, also known as the City of Bordered Sands, in order to find Oramos. After finding Oramos, we learned that Oramos essentially set up a trap to try and assassinate Honra. He was feeling pretty angsty. Later on, we even learned that Dyer was a part of it. Dyer was driven in some part by the fear of Honra's neglect back in Wayne, which only became much more manifested here, along with her brother, which we don't know, but she probably had communications with. They wanted to take a sort of vengeance to make her stop. Their goal's kind of little unclear. But it did lead to them being carefully united in an elevator with everyone's good friend, Death. After negotiations failed and Dyer, alongside Ormos, glazed eyes over, possessed by some sort of innate want to kill, Ormos, Dyer, Death, Honra, and special guest Jacob got into an elevator brawl, only for the elevator to itself fall. Upon the crash and crumbling, Ormos was presumed dead. Everyone else would get on a fast plane making their way back to Brighton. One command spell down. Whatever was the case, Mako wasn't entirely a waste of time. As TJ would say, us the audience, we know that Ormos actually did survive the elevator. He's still kicking. Still kicking for a potential another go. And with his pact with death completed, who truly knows what that means? Meanwhile, back at home, things have become rather slack. Taking a little bit of a break from the war, Kiku spent some quality time hiding out in a warehouse from the terrorists who attacked the school. His daughter, mysteriously undead, not undead as in a zombie, but undead as in she's not dead. Who knows, she might be a zombie. And Yazu seemingly making some very suspicious plays, perhaps to end our goal by taking out another servant quicker. But that's what we get to figure out today! Yay! High five, clappy, clap, clap.
Well, clap, 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 clap.
Wasn't as dramatic as a recap today. Primarily because I also had to refresh myself on a few points.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. It's been a while.
I'm glad I wrote down my script of how to yell at my retainer who tried to kill me.
As everyone once said, whenever a retainer tries to kill you, don't kill them. Drive them to do it themselves.
Lecture them about how you fucked up.
People people who travel airplane transit frequently, they are very lucky individuals. While it does cost an exuberant amount to fly, looking out over the skyline, it brings a sense of calm. It actually is very good for centering oneself. Onra, sitting at the window seat, could see dancing clouds higher up than she's ever soared. And the second time, honestly, it feels more. Just more than it was the first. It's like the first time she was captivated by the awe of it all. And now she's captivated by its welcome, its hello that it gives back. She's gotten over the fanfare and now can actually appreciate it for what it really is. Needless to say, beside her, Dyer. And beside Dyer, Dee Dee. Definitely make for an interesting plane crew. With Dyer passed out 9 ways from Sunday, and Dee Dee actually present on the plane. Their groups seem to have gotten much bigger. while it was a little bit of a pride thing, Honora was a little envious on how Didi, with no standing whatsoever in the world, would have people come up and ask for pictures and or her autograph, thinking she was someone famous.
What?
It was a little envying, but as an author, there's not a guarantee that everyone would know what she looked like. What was more insulting is Didi literally had nothing to her name. She just looked like some sort of famous person. So much so. Ah, yes, the clouds. Let's continue to look at the clouds.
Yeah, the clouds.
They were really calming. This plane ride would take a little bit of its journey over the water, which only really hammered in how vast this world was, yet how confining it felt like it was at the same time. Whenever Honora would see an ocean or write about an ocean, she would describe it as a gateway to another world. Not literally, just meaning that the world is bigger than it is, and by traveling across an ocean, you can get to something you haven't seen. In Wayne, that thing that no one had ever seen was where the forces of the apocalypse were building. The distant shores of meticulous destruction. But Honor always saw it as, well, that meticulous destruction is forming on some land, and that land in itself is like a new world. Something different. It's something across the sea. And no matter how short the trip across the sea would be, the vastness that it brought always made you think that it was much bigger than it would be. Being up so high and still seeing the water traverse on into the distance. It only enforced that. Where was Langqua? It was a little bit hectic. But
Do
Langqua
we?
seemed, well, disappeared. And, well, she got on the plane a little bit quick.
Did we even recover Ormos's body?
On the plane before we even got the chance. Honora, for once in her life, went into an almost state of. It was like a state of shock. It was like a time dilation, but no instance of time magic being used.
So my pocket watch doesn't show anything. Okay, good to know.
That that is Honora's response at the death of her retainer. It's almost like her conscious mind shuts down and her practical mind it becomes robotic. Even now, she's just kind of dawning on the fact that she went just accepting Ormos was dead. She moved, she walked. She signed out, she took her bag, she got the plane, she walked. And only now is she redawning on the fact that Ormos's dead body is at the bottom of that elevator, where is Langqua? Did she even say goodbye to Jacob properly? It can only be described as shock. Or a defense mechanism.
And
Didn't
she
even
probably
know
had been
it.
told she was a villain for doing so.
In some ways, she feels like a villain. But, I mean, she has more harsh words for Dyer. Was it that overcame her? How could she do something like that? The thoughts dawning on her. That was logical. But even to Honra, that felt too logical. That felt too meticulous. That felt too forward. That was adapting to the situation too well. Ormos is dead. He chose his own fate. How could Honra be so satisfied with that result? She wasn't. So then why was she?
If he survived, she would have been fully satisfied with, like, everything that happened. Is it because it's a good story? Does this make a good story? Is that why she's satisfied?
No, that is a clean story. Ormos lived his arc. He achieved what he wanted to as a character. It was just unfortunate that what he wanted to, well, that didn't line up with what Honra wanted him to. He acted as a launching point for Dyer to experience hardship at Honra's hand. In fact, he did nothing but put Dyer in a hard, compromising position now. Honra, with the belted whip, would then be required, as per story quota, to beat Dyer into shape until she bruised and bloodied and cried. That would be Honra's goal. If, of course, you were running off of narrative.
Looks at my entire speech. I mean, she doesn't do that, but I do.
Ideally, Honra would whip Dyer so hard that inevitably some sort of karmic reputation would take note of it, and probably at the end of the story it would come and lightly bite her, but she would still succeed. No one fully wants a story of forgiveness. But Dyer and Ormos, they sowed their fate. It isn't even a pride thing. It isn't even a desire thing. It's not even fully what Honra would want. But narratively speaking, the next biggest mistake that would draw readers in would be brutally efficient repentance. And the belt would not be a metaphor. Clouds sure are nice. This plane, however, its journey would feel short. Honor had a lot on her mind. And upon getting back to Brighton and landing within the Brighton airport, Dee Dee would once again make her dramatic exit. Now that she was close enough to a place that wasn't sapping her of her strength, she could operate on the realms of a full servant again. A strange crux that was never really found out why.
Is Diane still asleep?
Dyer is still unconscious.
How are we... Okay, just like as a question. How is Horner transporting her?
Honor and Dee Dee moved her onto the seats within the air dock. Really, you just kind of gotta wait until she wakes up, or you could try and just throw her body on like a cart and push and say, "Sucks, I'm kidnapping someone."
Well, did I order my taxi?
Taxi has not been ordered, but I mean, you don't have to. He already knows what your return flight's going to be.
But didn't we return before the return flight?
Plane systems operate a little bit different in that you're not like buying a ticket to get on a plane, which is static. You're essentially buying a ticket that is being put on the plane. So when your ticket has been put on the plane, all he has to do is notice that your ticket has been put on the plane and then keep track of when the flight lands. Weirdly high tech for this kind of world we're in right now. Think of
Yeah.
it kind of like Honor having an ID that's tethered to a plane and him kind of watching it as if she's a delivery on Skip the Dishes or something.
Neat. I like it.
I mean,
No.
planes are magic, so kind of makes sense why they're the most technologically advanced thing in this world. No one even questions that.
Out of curiosity, Honra's not very satisfied with this story. Because she's not feeling the abundance of anger, right? Currently?
He's not feeling an abundance of anger, no. She herself is not satisfied with the story, but she does understand that it wasn't like it was a bad telling. The story's telling was fine. It's just not one that resonated with her.
And she's not satisfied with the ending.
She would have preferred a different one.
she sees she had almost like she probably has like that idea of like even if she was going to explode within anger, it would be because it's an emotional release. Although she doesn't even need that. Yeah, she feels horrible about it. However, I am going to roll a performance check to see if I can think of another and better way to end the story. To rewrite the narrative, because she doesn't want to accept this one. Whoever's story is being told, she's not a participant, she is the writer.
The way to both go against the narrative, but still almost use it into a better ending of her choice, would be. And Honor's not really sure how she feels about this one. But she would be much happier with it. Especially thanks to Yazoo. Forgiveness. That's how she would end this story, or how she wants to end the story. In truth, she probably would have written it to end very similar. She just doesn't want that ending. She's played that game multiple times with people, well, reading her stories, introducing an entire setup only for it to end on a flat note and have the readers want more. They want to see that happy ending, but they know that misery is the only thing that follows. She's in the position of those readers. Some weird karmic writing. But she wants it to end with healing. She doesn't want to be playing this cat and mouse game of everyone she knows being some sort of horrible secret enemy where she has to always keep on her toes or forever be manipulated and twisted by their own ideas. No, she doesn't want to play that game. She doesn't want to play that game where that's the narrative, where that's the goal of the story. She doesn't want to play the game where she picks up Dyer, tears into her, breaks her down, shreds her to pieces, laughs, and abuses her. An exaggeration, of course, but she doesn't want to keep making Dyer either submissive or an enemy. Dyer
It's
just lost her brother.
there is something that caught her mind. Dee Dee did say to Dee Dee's whole point behind that at one point was to say, give up on Ormos. Life is about balance. She has been, in her mind, kind and always forgiving. Ormos shot her 4 times before she was willing to even attack back. But Dyer isn't Ormos, and has Honra been understanding with Dyer? Dyer literally tried to kill Honra, whether or not that was mind manipulation or not. It has to be a balance of logic and feelings. And she felt angry, even though she doesn't feel angry right now. That anger was stemmed from betrayal. It was stemmed from a sense of sadness that she was going for the right ending, the perfect ending. Yet Dyer and Ormos fought against her the entire way.
What was the point of all of this? What was the point of everything that happened?
She's not there to tell a good story. Well, she is. She is because she told Death to watch her story. She had been tricked into the whole idea of treating it like a story again. This is something she doesn't want. Honestly, I feel like she started to like narrate her mind as if it was a book. And I think what would make an interesting story for those who have seen countless stories before, those who have peered within the abyss, those who understand the machinations of life and death, those who know of multiple worlds. Everything Hunter has been talking about is a trope, isn't it? Maybe not a well-known trope, but everything she's been talking about, everything she's been writing within this, everything, both sides of this, of forgiveness and anger, is a trope. It's not capturing the essence of life. It's not capturing what somebody would really do. At one point, if a Dyer was immediately awake after that, Honra would have laid into her raw with emotion. She would have been angry. She wouldn't have held back, not because of a punishment, but because she was angry and overcome with emotions. But now she's not overcome with emotions. She doesn't need to give that same response. Just like how being a high priestess, you must have logic and emotions. Write a different story where I don't follow either trope, where I walk a middle ground. Empathize and recognize her hardship, but tell her that it will make sure she understands.
Honra's eyes dart down to Dyer, who appears to be stirring.
I will grab her hand in a hopefully comforting way. Don't mind me.
She appears to be burning up. She's hot. It's almost like psoriasis if it were heat.
Psoriasis?
If it were heat.
What's a psoriasis?
Well, psoriasis is a skin disease, which is like a patchy rash. I think it doesn't go away. I think it's a patchy rash that probably, according to Google, is dry skin patches, almost like scales.
Has she had any water?
Not from what you're aware. Not since you've left.
I'll pull out some water and try to I had medicine check as well. Make sure that she actually needs water. I can't really talk to her if she's like dying. Gosh darn it, I just scrolled down! Okay, I do not have medicine. Yay! Oh god. 9.
Almost like an immune response to not. Not sure what that really means, but she does take the water and drinks it, rising upwards. She does look much like she's wilting when the fake was doing it, but somehow Honra knows that this is not a deception. This is genuine.
You
Which
don't look
always
so.
begs the question. No, that can wait.
You aren't looking very well. How are you feeling?
Feel like I should be dead right now. Does that count?
I feel like, I don't know, her being awake, there's emotions bubbling. Taxi man should be here. Yeah, I don't care about that. Is there anyone else around?
The people who are disboarding the plane are gone. It's primarily staff. Seem to be getting ready to prepare it for a new flight, a new set of passengers.
Did Dyer stand up?
Currently, you're sitting.
Okay, that's good. Are you well enough to speak? Have a conversation.
No longer cursed. I think that
Hmm?
will be fine. No longer cursed, so I think that will be fine.
She was cursed? Golly. Wait. I have no clue what the curse was, right?
That's news to you. Might be a
I don't know what.
metaphor.
Hmm?
Might be a metaphor.
I don't know what this curse was, but right before, it might have been. You woke up. I was going into my mind, thinking about all the ways I could speak to you. Honestly, I was comparing everything towards a story. I don't know if you heard, like, my voice kind of broke slightly, but not actually. Where part of me thought it would be best, from the story that was being told, to verbally berate you. And then the other side wished to simply forgive again. But I don't want to live this life as a story. And I'm fighting against that inclination and urge to do so. What is this curse you spoke about?
Luck.
Hmm?
Not a real curse, it's realization that I was being wafted away with my own feelings.
Wafted away by her own feelings?
Yeah, the realization she was being wafted away by her own feelings.
Wafted away.
By her own feelings.
Okay, just wafted is like, okay, so pretty much being dragged along by her own feelings.
Yeah, to waft is to essentially be gently pushed. Or coerced by her own feelings.
Horner actually experienced that at one point, right? Just like, wait, has she? I don't know.
She's experienced the exact opposite of it, which may have been an extreme of it, but she's not quite sure. She's definitely experienced her feelings now taking over her completely, almost possessing her.
I always thought we were similar in some ways. We both could see visions. We both had a family we loved and cared about.
Both are absolutely terrible at explaining how we really feel.
No, like slowly nods to that. Wait,
We
did she
both
say
put
our
together
families or us?
how we feel.
Okay, okay, yeah, yeah.
We both create an image of the world in our minds and then treat that image of the world as if it's reality. Try and plan 5 steps ahead. We both lose sight of the present in means of our own plans, and then we panic.
She's actually kind of happy. Diana knows about it. It feels like she feels so seen.
Starting to see that we both had someone we claimed to just a little bit too hard and drag them down. She starts to tear up.
It definitely like probably puts like a arm around her in a Wayne fashion so she can still look at her in the eyes. Because
Creepy ass Wayne hugs.
yeah. She can't even imagine like no, she can't imagine. She's lost Kiku.
Probably doesn't mean much at this point. I'm glad I couldn't go through with it. And I'm happy you chose not to go through with it as well.
Go through what? Wait, what?
Part of the plan was to drug you in your room and smother you in your sleep. Couldn't do it. By that time, I had already realized how far I messed up.
Is probably the moment of pulling back, of like not being like hearing that, of like having like hearing that from her, having that moment of just like not necessarily pulling away, but just like feeling pain from hearing that.
If I did, I probably would have gotten my head cut off by that loud man, Jacob, or whatever his name was. But I would have done something horrible. And you saw the bottle. You already had known. You could have left me for dead in that elevator. I expected you to leave me for dead on the streets. I was going to be content with that. It's not how I wanted it to end.
I'm sorry. I'll be honest. I got distracted by the Riz chat. I was so in character, and then someone asked if I can be rizzed. That's exclamation mark D20 or roll 20 in chat, or exclamation 20. I forget the command.
I'm gonna pretend I know what that means. I, truth be told, don't. But I
I'm
think I got an idea.
I'm
I'm
sorry.
not.
You get no assistance here. All right. Sorry. What was the last thing said?
She didn't want. She didn't want it to end like that. Or to relate to Honor's statement, she didn't want the story to end like that. Of course, Dyer doesn't see it as a story, but
Yeah, like there's definitely a pause because Horner just kind of like there's that moment of oh golly, yeah, she was about to kill me.
She didn't.
Hmm.
She was about to, and she could have succeeded, but she didn't. The
Well,
instance of Dyer had every opportunity, and she could have succeeded at it. Honra was defenseless enough to know that it would have worked. Honra couldn't have done anything against it.
I am well. I am glad that your plan did not come to fruition. And I know you both didn't believe me, but I tried to be as truthful as I could. There are so many times where my emotions are. I feel again, but sometimes I don't feel after a situation. It almost feels like I'm still broken in some ways because I can be crying the one moment and riding on a motorcycle the next and be thinking about things far too logically for it to make sense.
Part of me knew that you had changed. I didn't want to accept it. It made all those times of struggling in the past seem like they were just disillusions.
We had 2 years to grow. More than 2 years at this point. And yes, I suppose definitely coming in with me being all friendly and trying to stay in contact was probably seemed unreal. But I am not the only one who ended up changing.
Even as a spirit of nature, or at least one bloodlined to the family of them. Part of this mess was caused because I didn't change. Everyone else did. I wanted to believe that Oramos was the same. I could see behind his eyes that were clouded. Don't, don't blame Oramos for this. Don't think he would have done it if I hadn't shown up.
It's not your fault either. Nor is it the being. Oh, right. Oh, man. Something I forgot is that she totally had a different name for the God of Eternal Service now, doesn't she?
Low of the living?
No, I thought there was a third name that she had.
This man goes by so many goddamn names.
Yeah, but like I thought she had like I thought there was like a huge like
The plot reveal name? Oh, I dropped you. One sec. Yeah,
made
no.
up name, pretend name.
Well, I mean, we can solve this by just listing his other title. God of Eternal Service. Our good old friend, the God of Eternal Service, goes by multiple different names. First being God of Eternal Service, as he was pronounced in Wayne, Halo of the Living. Some he is known as Exrian. That's not one that Honra knows.
Didn't you create like a word of like no, he's not either of these things? Wasn't that like a line of like no, he's not the god of eternal service or the low of living. He's the ever living or something.
Not the ever living.
Yeah, not the ever living, but you know, something along those lines.
I believe the one, because I'm just trying to think of what you're referring to. I believe the one you are looking for is the Severus.
No, that doesn't sound familiar. Ah! Can we just ask the server what she would call the goddess? Which one was it? Oh golly, it's been so long! Panic Master of Laughs!
Panic.
Panic, I say, panic! Oh my goodness! Okay.
The only names he is attributed with are the Low of Living, the Severus, the God of Eternal Service. I mean, friend.
Aww.
Referred to as friend.
Aww, that's so sweet! Gosh darn friendos. Ugh. But it is not your fault. No, it is the Low of Living's fault. And I've seen enough stories that I know it's not right to blame myself despite wishing to do so. It's impossible to assign blame at this point.
I don't think we'll be able to necessarily go back to the way things were. But you want to call it even, try and do things better next time. The both of us.
Of course.
There is a figure who enters the scene.
Taxi Man?
Yeah. One that no, is not Taxi Man.
How
It's
ominous.
somebody who you do know and immediately puts Honra on edge. And it's not Death.
It's one of the contestants, isn't it?
No, shockingly enough, it is Kakifala.
Oh, that khaki fella. Oh, our ally, quote unquote.
Our ally, Kakifala.
Flight khaki fella. Yeah.
The one with the really, really scary face. The one that smiles a lot. The one that, honestly, for some reason, just comes across as terrifying.
Oh wait, is that like oh shit, is it it's not Airplane Girl, it's
One of Yasu's crew.
yeah, Yazu's crew. I know her.
She was the one we, funny enough, actually first sent to the desert country alongside Toy Zokai.
God, I hate it. Oh, I hate it as Honra. It's just like oh, okay. It's like, oh, the way I get into character is like just imagining bugs. Oh,
It seems that Dyer also seems a little unnerved by this person in front of her. They haven't met.
okay, fella, hello.
Ah, hello, Honra.
Oh, I
Long
hate that voice so much. Deception check, deception check, deception check, deception check. Business face, business face, business face.
I heard you ran into a bunch of trouble when you were in, well, the Sand Country. I'd come to make sure that everything went swimmingly. Smile. Honra can feel the smile in her mind.
Oh god. Oh, I hate it. Oh, okay. I imagine she just like puts one hand to like rest her arm on like the armchair and like puts one hand on her head, just kind of like trying to rub it out. Looks like she has a headache. And then
Dyer seems to be responding in a very. The hair on Dyer's head almost seems like it's standing up and frail. She's like a animal who's just encountered a predator and is trapped, but thinks
I
that
would,
this person's safe.
indeed, I would not say that everything is fine per se, but it is fine enough.
That's
You are about
good. That's
to get
good.
going and move.
Ah, yes, the strange little man. He's waiting for you out front. Such a nice individual.
I stand up, ready to leave.
Right. You two have fun. She waves one ticket, just as if she's, oh yeah, she's getting on the plane when it's clean. She's just here really, really early.
Part of me, no, I don't care enough to ask her where she's going. I'm sorry, lady. You know, there's okay, no, okay. Like realistically, that's the right thing. It's not her fault. She's just I hate her.
She just invokes a fear visceral reaction of terror.
I'm not dealing. I'm not. I mean,
It's not her
it,
fault. She's just crazy.
okay, we're out of there, right? Honor doesn't have time to think about asking her where she's going.
Who the hell was that?
I don't understand it myself, but she's undead summon of my good friend Yazu. I do not understand the ability, but apparently she makes anyone of power. What was it? Authority.
Most people, just people.
Oh, yeah. Apparently she
You
tends to
just
make
have the
most.
ability. Whoever you are, you just kind of roll a metaphysical D1, and if you get a 1, or if you roll a metaphysical D2, probably like a D4, and if you get a 1, you are terrified of her forever.
Apparently she tends to make Most people feel that way, although it's not her fault. It is unbearable.
I hope she doesn't make contact with Aviar frequently.
Have I ever seen that happen?
No. But chances are it wouldn't do anything. There's a
I
good
have
chance
the
it wouldn't.
feeling that Aviar might be immune, but at the same time, I agree.
Remember this
Much.
man's name.
Hmm?
To remember this man's name. Honra! His voice, sorry.
Oh my goodness. Oh, fuck, yes, I do remember this man's name. Let me check my notes quickly. Yes, this man, this great, great sir of a person.
He's Henry. I know his name. Didn't. I just didn't know what his voice was. He's gonna be Italian now. Honra! Over here! Over here!
Taxi man, it's a goddamn taxi man. Definitely has, like, relief and lightens up from his presence and starts to head over. Henry, it's good to see you.
Going to be seeing each other a lot more within the next couple of days. Hopefully for a long business reunion.
Does that mean you've decided to accept my proposal?
Yes, all's in order. You'll have me. Start work in about 5 minutes when I get left on my other job.
There's definitely like a there's a huge shift within Honra of like went from sad to fearful to happy immediately. Of course, of course.
And even better, you'll never believe it, but I hit a post not too long ago, and they told me to keep the car as collateral. Turns out keeping the car is easier than paying for my back injury.
Oh, I hope you're not. It seems like you aren't too injured up about it, which is good. Kind of like confirming that, right? He's not bad. He's not injured.
No, I'm pretty well off. I had to get the brakes repaired. And when the lines was not pushing fluid through enough, it was a complete safety concern that, well, I could have sued them for a sizable size of money. My back's going all right. In fact, it's going great. Miss Suman, allow me, as he opens up the door. It may not be a limousine, but it will be your gilded chariot, wherever you want to go.
He definitely smiles at him and has a moment of looking back at Dyer, of like realizing, oh shit, I look so insensitive right now.
Dyer's still processing the fear lady who's just standing behind them waving.
Oh shit, fuck, I don't look, I don't know, she's not there. I didn't notice. Oh god. She's still there. She knows what she's doing. She's a fucking creep. She's a monster.
She knows what she's doing is probably the most honest statement that's been said. I think she does. I just don't know if she realizes the extent of what it is. It makes more sense when you realize that this lady trained you, huh?
Yeah.
That's you, husband. Something, something, Yazoo's a 3-star servant. Don't worry about it. I mean, he's not a servant anymore, but he was a 3-star servant.
Yeah. She definitely, like, sits down and definitely has, like, a bit of a sigh within the car when... And then once they start to drive away from terrifying, like, lady...
No offense against that lady, but I am going to avoid her in the hallway.
Honra nods. I imagine her eyes just closed for a second or two to try and just like that was like a series of emotions and thoughts and feelings, and now she's just like probably gonna be drained and crashed when she gets home.
Honestly, the emotion thing doesn't seem to have much of a drain on her. The thing that has a drain on her is honestly just the amount of time she's been up.
Okay, that's good to know.
As weird as it sounds, she might have developed an actual resilience to that kind of thing. Upon getting out of the taxi at home, which is now a personal chauffeur, might I. She could never be more wrong about the sentence she thought when she got in the taxi. Taking a step onto Institute soil, she could feel the weight of the world push down on her shoulders as she felt like whatever this world's atlas might feel. She's not really too familiar with this atlas person, but apparently they held the weight of the world. She kind of gets that expression now.
Is Kiku here? Do I see Kiku upon my return?
There's more vehicles than one would expect in the parking lot. Henry is, of course, just directed to fill out all the necessary forms of employment from head reception.
I love Henry. He's so cool. Taxi Man is amazing.
He's a recruit. We've recruited him by force. You don't see Kiku, but you do see a familiar face. That's right, everybody. It's our favorite duo in the entire world. Izori and Keita Mikune.
Oh, they're there together. Neat.
Yeah.
Wait, he's allowed on premises now?
Apparently. Izori doesn't seem too interested in going to talk, but Keita Mikune 100% is coming over to say hi.
Weight of the world on my shoulder, got it.
Weight of the world.
Sorry, excuse me. Oh my goodness. I'm dying.
If you're dying from sneezing, that's not a good thing.
Just because of the sneezies. Hi, I'm back. Hello. You want to move Kimakune and Izori Chuan down here?
I will, and then I'll have to mute myself for a hot.
Okay, you're muting yourself. Have fun muting yourself.
Merely because I'm going deaf from all the noise around me. Ah!
I don't know what's happening. Apparently my sneeze killed him. Also, Master of Laughs, sorry about... By the way, just to reiterate, while playing D&D, usually I'm very bad at responding to people, so I apologize. Like, anytime other time I'm streaming, I'll have a way more ability to, like, talk to people. But Master of Laughs, if you're still around, you get +1 level and +2 stats from any stat of your desiring. Y'all can place it now, or you can hold on to it. It is up to you. Also, I wasn't gonna give... Like, I feel bad about, Senpai Slytherin. But they rolled a 4 on the Riz check. They ain't getting it. They don't have... Where's your bless? They didn't have any of that. That 10 doesn't count. They got a 4. You got, like, a bad impression of me. That was intentional, even though it wasn't, I swear. It wasn't intentional. It was just me being too focused on D&D. That was a hard part. I don't got much Riz. I can't Riz well. I don't even know I don't even know the definition of Riz, I'll be honest. Is your, like, I know it's like style. It's how lit you are, fam. Oh, that hurt to say. Please forget I ever said that. Oh god. Oh, I don't want to ever say that again. What the... Where is... Wait, what? Did I break everything? Hello? There we go, I found it. Ability score. And I think the 5 damage is old, so we're just gonna delete that. Oh... This was literally... Okay, so this is just like RP Central. Why is anxiety filling into me? Why is Caleb Akune talking to me? I just want to go to bed. Also, you can also tell who's a protagonist and who's a side character. The protagonists have the pictures drawn. Honestly, I'm really impressed with this. No, I was gonna say it. Sorry. I'm really impressed with Honer's drawing. Like, I'm staring at it, and it's just nice. It's cool. I like it. I have my character actually has like their own picture. It's lovely. Oh my goodness, my brain is just like in work, like not work mode. It's in D&D mode, so it's just like fully okay. So now I just get to do the thing of saying the first thing that comes to my mind without hesitation. Why? Because that's my new jam. That's my new shtick. It's fully just being like present in a situation the best I can. Boy, being present is weird because I'm like looking at my desk and I'm like, I have a plate from like breakfast this morning and I really want to put it away, but I'm not gonna walk away from stream. Also, I have not drank water yet. The hour and a half I've been playing D&D. Is it weird that like, because I realized something like halfway through playing this game. And I realized that to the outside world who doesn't understand the server and the fact that there's a computer program going beep boop bop beep, the DM's just like telling me how my character feels, and it's not actually the case. They're helping me. It's like it's a joint effort of DMing or playing a game apparently. Computer program knows a lot more than me. They aren't just like telling me how to play, I swear. I have my own agency in this. Harder's feeling mentally exhausted. That's like the cue of like, oh cool, she's feeling mentally exhausted.
You can't give away the secrets that this is a robot. We have to pretend that I'm good at my job.
But if I don't do that, everyone's just gonna think you're like being the most like actually person there is.
Um, actually, you're exhausted right now.
You're playing the
So,
game wrong. Honra is not feeling emotional.
you don't understand your character to the way that I do.
I'm the DM and you are doing it wrong. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, to someone who has no idea what's going on. Robot go beep boop.
Also, it looks for people. We're just playing D&D together. It's like two people playing D&D. Is that sad?
I mean, that could come across as sad, yes.
It's like
At least,
2.5. Three
at least when we,
people.
at least when we have Tej here, it actually looks like we have a real party.
It looks like we actually have a real party, yeah. Oh my goodness.
It's like we have friends.
I mean, two. Okay, it's like a party. It's like one. Realistically, there's one computer DM and there's two people playing. And that's not sad. Okay, no. Focus games like that is actually amazing. I think focus two-player games is underrated. Because the whole idea is 4 people to a party, more people, yada yada, full team mechanics. But only having 2 people is kind of amazing just for the amount of focus you get on the characters. I think 2-player D&D is actually underrated.
It's a little underrated, yeah.
Meanwhile, your character is not actually playing, so it's one person D&D. But like, don't worry about that.
Ignore the fact that I usually get maybe about 3 minutes of play.
I hope it's not my decision. Oh. Don't worry, Kamaku is here. You get some screen time. Unless I decide to leave immediately. Alright.
Ah, Honra, and I hear you have returned. It is so glad to see you again. Ada Makunai stands.
I suppose a congratulations is in order, since it appears that you are now allowed on the premises.
It would seem that I was, although it was a very turbulent time. We managed to get through some of our differences. I am grateful for Tenka's consideration. Did Amantil treat the 2 of you well?
Okay, hold on. Let me just go over to see all the masters.
The country of the desert place.
Okay, cool. No, it really didn't. But that's... No, it didn't.
Such a shame to see. But I'm sure you have met whatever representative that Yazoo had sent down there. So at least the 2 of you were not without ally.
There's just that moment of just reflecting of like, Honya had one ally, Dyer had a lot of allies. Not saying anything out loud, but there is that thought process of like Honya being pretty much alone, but like, whatever.
Yasu
Things
realizes something was sketch, didn't say anything, sends an entire person to go as a safeguard for you.
things did not go as planned, and it was quite a things did not go well at all.
I'm sure we will hear about it in whatever meeting we are to have on the following week.
Nods. And I mean, I don't want to necessarily bring up what I asked Zori to do right
Zori's
now.
not standing with everyone. She's just kind of off to the side, like I'm better than all of you. I don't need to be in your conversation.
As the church, no, I'm going to wait for the meeting tomorrow. I'm not gonna bite off more than I can chew right now.
Yes, you look quite tired. The both of you. You should find a restitute in your slumber to prepare yourself for the war games in which have started to kick into motion.
I do want to know first, has my brother been around yet, or is he still within hiding?
Your brother is fine. He's come by at some point.
There's a smile of trust that Izori did what she asked, and appreciation. Because Izori definitely got through to my brother and definitely got to communicate with him. And she has full faith in the High Priestess Izori. High Priestess Izori, the Izorianing of totally a High Priestess, which isn't a High Priestess, but like, capable. Fully
Yeah,
capable Izori.
Is Zori the immortal savior of the world and revival of the true way?
Yeah, she has full faith that she was able to complete such a simple task.
Not a simple task, you know.
She has full faith that Izori definitely isn't standing off right now because she feels like she's failed, and she's just kind of really self-conscious and she doesn't want to look Honya in the eyes. Is she looking Honya in the eyes, or is she looking off to the side?
Azori is definitely the perfect image of somebody who is incredibly powerful and definitely would not concern themselves with the trifle of basic feelings of all these underlings before her.
So
But
she
she's
look.
also antisocial enough where she wants to be involved, but she knows she can't be involved because she's better than all of them, and she has to keep the airs of being better than all of them. Because if not, then Brother Caldoon and Brother Alexander would probably not be happy at her that she was mingling with the common filth. So it's much like an antisocial person who really wants to talk, but doesn't because it's her duty not to, and she's not wavering on that.
Honya has full faith she will do the thing that she said she'd do, and that's to help my brother. Because the great Azori Chan and the grandest would not fail.
This is the person who overwrote their madness enhancement.
I know,
Do
which is
you
why if she
have
fails, I'm gonna be very disappointed in her. If she didn't help my brother, I'm gonna be like, oh, okay, I mean, I guess. No, 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 don't worry, don't worry, don't worry, don't worry, don't worry.
Oh, part of me knows that Zori is probably the biggest amount of stress right now.
I mean, to be fair, Harden returned super early, so yeah. She's probably thinking to herself, "Oh no, she's back. Why is she back? I didn't have time to like check on like Kiku at all."
Yeah, but she's doing really solid with her deception.
I'm not rolling an insight. I just am showing her my faith in her because you know what? Yeah, she's got this.
As Kanamakuna, I know she's rolling. She rolled a really good deception.
I'd really want to do an insight, but I'm not gonna do an insight just because I don't want. I last time I rolled an insight or a wisdom check, I gained 1 level of exhaustion when my character was tired. I'm going to. I'm gonna go to bed now. I'm looking forward to seeing you two again in a less tired state. She didn't want to say defeated because she's not defeated yet. She's just got a 1-2 punch to her retainers.
Of course. Enter in for some rest. Now that the day is upon us, I have much to accomplish. Lady Zori, the immortal, savior of the world and reviver of true Wayne, would you mind accompanying me into town for a moment?
How long have I been muted? Oh god, oh no, it's only just now because it's blowing my nose. We're good.
Okay, that was been kind of spooky.
I just apparently actually. I hope it was only just now. It's fine, it's fine.
I know when we watch the video again. You are a very troublesome priest, you know, but I will grace you with my presence. Good. We will need your presence in order to find clothes that best suit you. Are you saying that the clothes that I am not currently wearing do not suit me? I'm telling you that the architect for the museum that we passed thought you had stolen an exhibit, and that it would be a wise decision to get you a more formal set of clothing, as we discussed on the way here.
How adorable. They're so cute.
Makune refrains from telling Azori that it was actually Azori's plan to go shopping. She could not ever stoop to the low point of these simple, plebeian, worse Wayne individuals. She has to put herself in the highest regards possible. So she could
We've
never
already.
suggest wearing normal people clothing. Onra, yeah, Izori's just like Izori has high airs, high respect. She's a very respectful individual. She needs new clothing. Yeah, I guess she would be a little torn from having to go away from her normal garbs. Yeah, that makes sense. It doesn't matter. Let's go to bed.
Yeah, let's go bed. Hi, Fred. Thanks for the pets. Yeah. She's loopy and doesn't know what's going on anymore. Well, not actually. It's more like the weight of the world is pressed upon her.
Let's do something crazy. Let's do something insane, shall we?
Oh, is it another time skip?
No, I was gonna go hang out with Kiku for a bit.
Yeah, let's go. Is he with his daughter?
The air today was crisp. It was brisk. as I move these nerds off screen.
Thank you, thank you.
It had been some time, but under reasonable measures. The school was closed down, partially indefinitely. Even with magic, fixing such damage was not going to be easy, as it was caused, well, with magic in mind. That meant that Isla's had a large amount of time to herself. And that Kiku was more of an active parent.
Yay!
But Kiku obviously really know how to be a parent. The most that he found was fun was, well, training, and it wasn't less that he found it fun, it was more a useful use of their time. But Eyeless could only train so much before she would get bored. And it took a while for her to get bored. In fact, days of training for her to get bored. She really was Kiku's daughter, and a perfect reflection of her mother. If she put her mind towards something, she could get it done, could accomplish it, and she would accomplish it no matter what. But she needed variation. She needed variety. And that's what brought them here today. Kiku, alongside his most loyal retainer, Hanku. And one is his most favorite PTSD apprentices, in which is actually Keita Makune's apprentice, simply dubbed as Angel. The four of them were going out to an amusement park.
Amusement park! Yay!
Standing and entering at the front gates, it looked as if a mob, or at least a mob boss from across the sea, known for shooting up civilians and robbing banks, decided to take his daughter to an amusement park. Kiku
I thought you were talking about somebody
undoubtedly
else, and then I realized you were talking about your own character.
Kiku obviously looked as if he was someone who would cause mass terror. He looked like someone who was equipped in almost every form of firearm, but you couldn't quite prove it. And he was surrounded by the most stoic, stone-faced, bouncer-like individuals around.
I'm drawing
Hanku,
Hanku as a strawberry.
that's what she is. She's just a strawberry. Hanku was wearing a black and white striped suit, while Angel was dressed to the nines in what could almost be described as the equipment you would wear to break into an art museum. Cargo pants, pockets, places where knives and ammo could be stored, but they weren't. And then Eyeless in a very cute white summer dress.
Aww, adorable.
Kiku was not prepared for this, even though it was suggested. He was not prepared. All the people moving around invoked a sense of anxiety. Any of them could be killers in their own right. They could be masters from the war wishing to take away what they cared about most. Even more so, large contraptions that worked off of some sort of principle. He had not read more than 3 different types of roller coasters, but he didn't understand that there would be other rides here as well. He hardly even knew what the safety recommendations were for them. Height requirements, they were described in little signs, with a strange mascot character in the shape of a large mutated rodent. Oh god, sir, Disneyland. I
No.
mean, this is Disney. The
Welcome
fact
to
that
Disneyland.
the fact that Kiku went out of his way to learn the safety and operation of 3 different roller coasters is hilarious to me, but
He can pilot 3 roller coasters, you mean?
sorry?
He can run 3 roller coasters by himself, you mean?
He wasn't prepared for the teacups.
What are the teacups? Oh god, they're dangerous!
Let's
Oh,
go to
Honyor's
those ones
so annoyed
first.
that she's missing this. Oh, Honyor totally wants to come along. What the fuck?
And she's in desert country.
I know, but I'm jealous. We're going again.
Let's go on that one. Of course. The log
The
ride.
teacups! Sorry.
A ride that involved getting into a small, very unsecure log-looking contraption, floating up some watery stream, and then dropping down and creating a large splash. The site at which you are dropping is wired to some sort of camera-operated device, which prints out your pictures afterwards. You're supposed to smile, but also, because of its positioning, it makes for the perfect point for a sniper to get perfect range on you. They could hide in the cotton candy machine, or at least behind it. No one would see them. They would have perfect shot on. All it would take is one hit, and the water that would normally splash up, well, on this day it would be dyed red. You would be the splash on your way down. No, that's too dangerous. But so many other people are doing it. Hanku, I'm going to need you to watch the perimeter, specifically here and there. Understood? Are you sure you want to go on this ride? You're being overdramatic. There's no one that's going to hurt us here. I mean, this place is perfectly safe. But you have to keep your eyes out. And Hanku's coming too. Grabbing onto Hanku's hand, Eyeless starts moving forward. Hanku doesn't know how to respond to a kid dragging. There's a bit of an authority problem here. King Kiku, are you requesting that I stay behind? No, I need your bodyguard feature. You're coming with me. Log ride, log ride, log ride. Do you think there's any secret magic uses that are here? Like, are some of these rides enchanted to be able to move the log further along? You could definitely have a bunch of hydromancers position themselves in the right place to make, well, some sort of ride. I'm sure of it. I doubt there's any magic here. What do you mean? Magic is all around Sparkleville. And just look at our brilliant towers of fun and excitement.
Really?
It's a magical adventure. The giant mutated rat seems to have mascots. That could also be an assassin. He was far too good at hearing. Those ears weren't just for show. The person inside, he could be wiretapped to the nearest room. They could be being watched right now. There was no way he would be able to hear that conversation and discern out that, oh, candy. It's probably poisoned. Hanku goes and gets one of the furry candies that is being handed out by the strange mutated rat person. Perfect. Hanku will try the candy. Because of her innate constitutional ability, she'll be able to discern whether it's poisoned or not.
Wait, you did a Goofy voice for Mickey Mouse? I mean, Mickey Racked?
Sorry?
You
I did a
you did
goofy
the
voice for Mickey Mouse, yes.
Why did you do the Goofy voice for Mickey Mouse? You got me confused. I thought it was Goofy was gonna get shot, but no, Mickey. Mickey's gonna get shot.
I'm not gonna get
You shot the
demonetized.
wrong animal. You shot the wrong mascot. No.
We're not gonna get demonetized.
What?
I don't even think we have to worry about being demonetized. We're not gonna have this video like taken down or muted, so when we listen back, there's just no audio. That's not happening.
That would be hilarious. One reference to like the mouse, and it's just like copyright strike.
Disney is intense.
Dude,
And
it's intense. Oh my shit. Oh my goodness. One reference, and
Hanku eating the small mint-like candy. Not only that, if it wasn't poisoned, it would be a choking hazard. Meanwhile, this candy's good. Hanku thought to herself, Hanku likes this place. It's actually kind of quaint. The strange rat creature, is kind of cute. This is a nice feeling. She knows far too well. Whatever response she gives will be able to convey whether or not the candy is poisoned. It seems that Angel knows too. She's staring with intensity. It's all on you, Hanku. It's all on you. Hanku reaches out her hand to give one of the candies to Kiku. Not poisoned. I don't know what your strange plan is, you deranged rat. But I have my eye on you. Thank you for the candy. Oh, sure thing. And you have a good, fun time.
We will. We'll have a good fun time.
As the rat man walks away. Eyeless is happy. Child innocence is always a wonder. No wonder this place charges so high for their tickets and premium passes and ride coupons, and this place is just designed to prey on childlike innocence. It's designed to convince children to have fun with their youthful energy and charge the parents a high premium. It's intoxicating. It makes it so that they want to come back. And if they want to come back, they become addicted to it, like a drug. It's their time. It's time to get into the log. Eyeless is happy. She's excited. She's ready for it. Already putting together ideas of how it works, the machinations at play, the tracks that it holds, the ability for magnets to be used. It's good, she's thinking. But that rat is still watching. His head's not turned perfectly, but there could definitely be a camera installed in the side of that suit in order to make it so that he was watching. Click, 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 click. Hanku was smiling. A strange and, well, foreign gesture to her. It must mean she suspected something. She had to. This was her way of saying. Not that it's necessary. Angel is a brunette. Because I know you're probably drawing. I cannot wait to see this drawing.
Okay, Angel's in the back. Alright, this makes it way more complicated, but I got it. I got you. I got you. I'll fix it.
No, she's a brunette. She has brown hair.
Oh, she's a brunette. That's good. I gave her white hair, or yellow hair. I thought you said she was in the back. Okay, but what's the order of the log ride? Who's in what seat?
Kiku and Eyeless in the front, Hanku and Angel in the back.
Okay, cool. That's one of the worst ways it could be. It is definitely not that currently, but I will fix it. Don't worry. Brunette. Okay.
I'm
Cool.
going to probably end up killing this damn mascot, and it's not going to be an assassin, is it?
It's absolutely not. Why would it be an assassin? All right, continue.
Climbing ever higher, rocking along the water. Honestly, it's kind of fun. But fun is just a distraction. Yes. No wonder when they get around, that sniping point will be open. It will be open. Rock. A second track. A second log. It feeds in from both sides. And both logs come together before the massive drop. A little drop. As they started climbing. Now thinking about it, an assassin could be easily located in the second log. Once the logs get together and they clash. Yes. That is when the perfect assassination point lines up. Put a sniper in the front, get an assassin in the side, and you have covered all angles. Click, 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 click. Hanku in the back has her hands up. Click, 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 click. Everyone on this log literally has the straightest face except for Eyeless, who is excited. Click, 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 click.
Okay, Justin muted himself. I was I was on the edge of my seat. I was ready for the drop. And now it's paused. Oh my goodness. Oh. Click, 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 click. man goes to theme park and has PTSD flashbacks to his entire life. Constantly. With zero breaks. That should have been the episode's name. Do you like my log ride though? Oh my goodness, I made a log ride. They look so great. Kiku still has a knife. The small child has a knife and magic. There's a strawberry. And what looks like a normal person. I should probably make it so she seems like an assassin more, because she is like a trained assassin lady. But modern media has ruined it for me. Hello, freshly baked croissant. Why do orphans love poker? Because there's always someone trying to raise you. Ah! That's so good, actually. Oh, I love that. That's so good. Oh my goodness. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Oh. Oh my gosh, I'm actually reeling a bit from just like... Currently in D&D, there's a log ride, if you can't tell. And I'm just so invested in this log ride. Kiku's looking out for all of the assassins while everyone else is enjoying themselves. Raise you. The entertainment value is there. I got distracted. The smoke outside. There's a guy in town who walks around talking to himself using only figurative language. We call him the Village Idiom. Hey, let's go! Village Idiom! Little low. Little low. Kick, 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 kick. Apparently...
I know that.
Oh, welcome back, sorry. Alright, here's what you missed, freshly baked croissant, and anyone else. Holy Grail War. There's trauma all around the corner. We're isekai protagonists. And now, Kiku, Justin's character, is having PTSD flashbacks going to the amusement park with his daughter. And his two, like, servants. Assassin servant, not actual servant like Fago, but like, you know, retainer. And then strawberry retainer. They have pink hair and is like a bodyguard. Alright, that's all you missed.
Click, 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 click. Bump, 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 bump. As both of the logs click together, Kiku's worry comes to fruition. Sitting in the front of the other log is an incredibly handsome man with dark, brilliant, sandy skin. An air of the absolute divine surrounding him. Beside him, a creature of unrelenting malice, whose face is hidden behind a skeletal mask. This is Malik Jatar, incarnation of the god of Amentil, master of the assassin class servant, the Imperium, golden sleek eyes, and sitting beside him, his servant assassin, a cutthroat and ruthless killer, dressed in black suit. As both parties looked at one another, it was undoubtable then both of them knew exactly who the other one was. He had come to assassinate them. Why didn't anyone else notice?
Kiku, no. How would he come to assassinate you? He has no clue who you are. Kiku, honey, I know you're paranoid, but like, what? He should be. I'm so confused right now. He shouldn't be here. He's in his
Taking
home
down
country.
your... Go back to your own country.
He's in his home country.
He isn't in his home country. Malik Chachar isn't in his own country.
I thought he was. I thought that was the whole plot point we discovered.
No, Malik Chachar is from Amantil.
The desert country?
Yeah. Yeah, he's from Amantil.
Yeah, didn't he return home?
Yeah, he should be home. He should be home from what Honora knows. But he's actually in this amusement park.
I don't think Kiku's okay mentally, is he?
No, but that's besides the point.
I don't think it is. I think that is the point. But please continue. I don't mean to interrupt fully.
The log pushes itself down, ricketing as a flash hits. The picture would probably later reveal that Kiku is just staring at the other log, but besides the point. One massive splash and no gunshots. They're safe for now. But they know that the assassin glass servant and his master are here. This is a dangerous time. Both logs split away as Kiku takes one of his familiars, the one that summoned through the spell. No, assassin's gone. Malik's gone too. They got out quickly. They must have known. Let's try those ones next. The teacups. The teacups. Spinning vestiges of destruction. The roller coaster was fine. Next. Something that brought you up into the air and dropped you, only relying on these brakes, pads. Some sort of machination to stop it before you hit the ground that could easily be tampered with, but they weren't. No sign of Malik. No sign of the assassin class servant. No, they weren't here. Must have been another mage's doing. Not sure why, but they had it out. They had it out for them. Everyone here was a potential threat. Not stand out of line, but Lady Hanku. Is King Kiku alright? He seems far too on edge. He is someone who thinks far too quickly. I believe he is having fun. You can tell by the smile on his face. I don't see a smile across his face. He actually looks like he's scowling. Like he's seen some sort of ghost. Perhaps this is how you look when you become a parent. A guide that I picked up from the last brochure place states that when you wish to become a parent,
You have to accept that your life is going to become miserable, but in a way that will make you happy. Those are incredibly useful pieces of writings that could help a lot of people. I'm surprised you picked one up. You need to be prepared for all circumstances. Like you getting a husband? Are you interested in something like that? No. But when I was invited to come out on this day, I needed to be prepared to fill a parental role. Should we be forced to fight a master of the war, or perhaps even worse, an armed militia filled with riflemen? I have not been an assassin that long, but are these things common? No. I see now that my king is simply looking at multiple different personalities, multiple different possibilities, multiple different angles. He wishes to ensure his daughter's safety. And that is also said to be a parental instinct. It might just be a bit exaggerated. It sounds like his daughter is a big weakness. On the contrary, I believe if anyone were to harm her, I believe that Kiku's daughter, Eyeless, may be his greatest strength. I've seen I've seen him run a mission. I might be a little disillusioned by his practice. From what I understand of that dossier, you've seen him run a mission while he's not in his game. I believe now that he's been tailored to be at his fullest potential. Angel doesn't seem to quite believe that. I'll take your word for it as my superior. Why do you still seem to regard him so highly? That is my duty as a retainer. That is what I will do, is what I must do. Taking a bite of cotton candy. Is what I will do no matter what. Tries to stuff it in Angel's face. Sugar does not it slows down. It doesn't make it, it's good. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Good. The cotton candy isn't poisoned. Such valiant individuals. I wouldn't have expected you to try and poison test every sweet thing that this park had to offer. But I'm starting to suspect it will be a custom choice item that will be poisoned. Good. If only we could find If only we could find some sort of clue that would indicate where that master had gone.
I want to try and shoot the target. Can we shoot the target with the cork gun?
Something practical. Well, step right up, friend. A different mascot, the same voice. This one carries himself like he works 10-hour days, has a minimum paying job, and barely can afford food. The last one, he probably got paid a little bit more than minimum wage. 20 years of service. Here you go, fellas. Here's your cork rifle. Now make sure to always point it downstream. Your goal is to hit the little duckling. And once you do, it'll fall over and you'll claim one of your roasted chicken prizes. One of their mascots was a completely deep-fried duck. It had a face, and it walked on little bone legs. It was morbid, but for some reason children thought it was cute. There was also a couple other prizes. Some weird mascots that probably were derived from some eldritch dimension. Demonic forces. I think that they even had little demons that were tried to be normalized here.
Okay, I have it.
Inspect your firearm first. Get a feel for its weight. Do a count of your ammunition. Always reload.
Uh, uh, right.
The mascot tensed up. I could see it tense up. It knew we weren't to be trifled with easily. I think that they're scaring that common worker. Just watch. Not everyone has a full understanding of how firearms operate. Eyeless starts partially dismantling the weapon just to make sure that all of its pieces are in order, along with one of Kiku's little screw sets. She gets an idea for how the trigger operates. Does a quick count of her corked ammunition. Retightens the compression mechanism.
Aiming downrange. Test shot 1.
It's a miss. But the Rat Man. The Rat Man has a certain seriousness to him. The seriousness that you could mainly be found in child services. If he dared even thinking of taking her away. The glare that Kiku was putting off was enough to kill on its own. Well, you got a couple other shots, kiddo.
Adjusting 5 degrees to the left. 2 degrees down.
Good.
Reloading.
Fire.
Ting! Fire. Ting! Fire. Ting! Oh, that's almost all of them. Eyeless puts $5 on the table. It's 5 silver, but I'm calling it dollars because it's funner. Well, here you go. Here's a full set of corks. Fire. Ting! Fire. Ting! Again. And again. And again. And again. Here you go, sport. You managed to win one of our trusty mascots, the little duckling. He's so cute, don't you think, Father?
Praise her, Kiku. Do it. Tell her she did good and pat her on her head. Make sure she feels happy, because her heart's slowly breaking.
It pales in comparison to you. As Kiku will really awkwardly pick her up and give her a hug. He's proud. When they leave, the mascot man 100% calls child services. But he can't because the phone line's cut.
Oh my god. I mean, when you put it that way, I'm kind of worried.
No normal,
Child
like...
services. I don't like how that's Kiku's like enemy, child services. We might not be the good guys.
I mean, wouldn't you call child services if some crazy psychopathic, almost like horribly anxious looking serial killer-esque mob boss man takes his daughter and she demonstrates a perfect understanding of how a long-range bolt rifle works?
What? No, that's normal. Kids these days, they're pretty smart. The internet really helps them learn.
We don't have the internet. The internet doesn't exist here. We're not in that timeline yet.
I mean, it's still. She's just a smart kid being forced to learn how to fight and protect herself by her insane parent who's, not fit to raise a child.
No. She's just a really smart kid who's learning necessary life skills. And one of the most necessary life skills is learning how to take other people's.
Yeah. Permanently, through death.
She's just gonna have the best rate of survival against anything. Like, straight up. We're fighting a magical death tournament where we summon heroes from the past in order to slaughter each other. Like, I mean, this world ain't necessarily safe.
There was a man who was inside the log ride who disappeared.
The king of a foreign
No one else
country
was
who's
riding the
actually
log ride with you at the time. There was a man riding the log ride with us. Did you grab the picture at least?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Are they in the picture?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's concerning.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I thought he was just going crazy and too tired.
No, that would be a normal response. Kiku is never unjustly paranoid.
Oh, damn. Yeah, fuck. Okay, well, yeah, that's horrifying. Do they know? No, they can't know. Why did they disappear? What the fuck is going on? Oh, God. This happy-go-lucky outing has just turned into, like, scared paranoia.
And now you know why I'm scared paranoid.
Why was he there? He should be in his country.
Unless they said back a fake.
Like, is it...
sitting down for an afternoon lunch. They were getting some sort of grease-fried burger and fries and some weird deep-fried lettuce head. The court was outside a half circle, primarily empty. As Hanku, Hylas, and Angel went to go pick out something they'd like, Keiko was not very hungry. Have found us. Black flowing robes, crouching on the table in front of Kiku. Not there a second, there the next. A skeletal mask. Still wearing the suit underneath. A dagger pointed at his forehead. Yes, class servant. You're correct. I have found you. Assassin. You have come to assassinate my master on his day of respite.
No. I am literally taking my child out no, this is my day of respite too.
Your ruse will not fool me. I know that you're here gathering intel on us. You are not a master of the war. I understand your connections to Wayne, but my master has no quarrel with you as of now. Why are you here? Stand down, assassin. I have already devised why they are here. Taking the scene like a radiant glow, a godlike figure in his own might. They have chosen this place as it is a malignant, I can't even goddamn say that word, source of joy and happiness. A beauty in the world. They have chosen this place because it is the perfect location to experience the fun wonders of the northern world. Something we do not have in Emmentiel, and something I wish to replicate with all of my power. That is why they are here, assassin. You are far too trusting of the scenario. They will likely come to claim your throne and this world. If I was scared away by any mere mortal who would dare think of stealing my world from me, Then I would crush them undoubtedly, but there I would let them try. Everyone has a right to try and rebel, although no one will succeed against one so omnipotent as I. I can see through whatever their ruses are, as I am the sun's incarnate. Very well. I will trust your judgment, master. The assassin class servant vanishes. I don't believe we have met. I am the ever generous and ever powerful Malik Jitar. You can call me Kiku Suma. It's a pleasure to meet you, Kiku. I understand that once you held the reins of leadership. Now no longer. But you have nothing to fear. I will end up winning this war. I suggest that you make an effort to join the united armies of Amantil. Just as the sun is generous, anyone who deems themselves as an enemy will be smited and burned. Their impurity is sent to the mirror of souls. As of now, your kingdom is of not much concern to me. I have other more pressing matters to deal with. I heard you were a sponsor in the First War. Consider sponsoring a winning side, and my generosity will flow upon you. Not that I need your assistance. Servants are quite feeble and weak creatures. I need no one's assistance, as my reign will be as immortal as I. But if you wish to bask in my light, it is only the nature of a ruler to respect the other rulers present, and to give them sanctuary if they fall into one's fold. Have a good time in this place of wonders, King Zuma. Wayne may be no more, but I can assure you that Amantil will gracefully hold the mantle that you left behind. Guitar, what kind of wish do you have for the Grail? A being like me needs no use of wishes. I'm simply reclaiming something that belongs to my birthright. Look at how big the burger is! And we got pickled fries, and we got deep fried pickles, and we got a deep fried cabbage, and deep fried cookies. Everything here is deep fried. It is far too much for me to consume. But I will do my best. Henku lied. This is not a challenge for her. She has awakened a deep, visceral desire for deep fried food, and sweets, and candy, and pretty much everything that's sold here. Hanku, unbeknownst to everyone, had become addicted to amusement parks. As weird as it was to say, Angel was finding a bit of an addiction here herself. While she kept a solemn face, she was having fun. She never really had much of a childhood herself, so she didn't understand the purpose of such a place. But now, perhaps, she was. For Kiku, the food was absolutely disgusting. But eating it with such a colorful cast made it palatable. Perhaps it wasn't really about the food to begin with, but the people and the time spent consuming it. As the day came to a conclusion, all four of the wary travelers exited into the parking lot. And how did we find ourselves? Having a good time, I hope. Sarah Whitecourt was there to act as their chauffeur back into the city. I told you it was going to be a magical experience. You should have taken my word to heart. It was very good, Miss Whitecourt. We had so much fun. And look, I even won a cute mascot creature. It's like some sort of bird homunculus. Once your alchemy gets to a strong enough degree, maybe we'll have to test that theory and see if a homunculus can take on such a shape. For the time being, why don't we head home? Very well. Let's go. Whitecourt, despite being a teacher in a prestigious magic school, drove a really beat-her-up car. It popped and fizzed at every single turn and cranny. It was obviously hard to shift. As they drove further down the road, clicking and clacking, the mood became more serious. Eyeless started to fall asleep, along with Hanku. who simply passed out in the back seat, falling onto one another. Angel was trying her hardest to stay awake, but even trying harder to understand truly what was the purpose of this mission. Are you okay? I'm fine. You're lucky. That luck isn't going to happen again. I won't let it happen again. You keep saying that, but you're going to keep letting it happen. If you pursue without change. My entire field of magic is about changing one thing to another. Less in the terms of transmutation, more in the state of energy. And if you keep going at it with the same energy, you're going to keep living the same cycle. I have changed. She rests her hand on Kiku's. I know. See. In the presence of such a man, only one sound could be heard. A heavy string instrument, although it was not ever there. It seemed like a person with such renown always had a theme song following in their mind. One step off the rickety track. As he reached his hand up to adjust his outfit. Looking forward was the only way this man could travel, as going back was a sin. Thank you, sir. He was handed his luggage, his cane, his hat. He looked towards the beautiful, sprawling city of Brighton. He did. He understood that this job was going to be much harder and more important than any that he had ever taken beforehand. I do say, this place is rather, well, how do you put it? It's interesting, don't you think? It's got an air of, well, I like it. It's open, it's even. Well, I don't know what the big deal is. Uprooting us like that, you really do have some nerve, you know. I can't believe you dragged us all the way to Brighton for something of more of a hunch.
Oh my goodness, I can't wait. Is it the best song ever? Sorry.
No, mon ami!
No, mon ami!
This is nothing much of a hunch. This is the start to a case. A case file. A case so far in the making that I, Langqua, believe that its dark masters will make of it something world-changing? No. When has Langqua ever been wrong that there is something dirty afoot? And it is you, my dearest companions, that I have called upon in this time of need. We will work in the secret. We shall find in the shadows. And with great spectacular. When the case is solved, we will save lives. There you go again. But, heavens. You always do have a nose for such a thing. And I think you picked it up just by watching a girl. Where was it? Amintil? It was not just a girl that I watched. It was a family so sharded. But we have only heard 3 of the witnesses. The case is not over. No. Langqua believes that the case, it is only just begun.
Langqua's back, yes! Oh my god, I did the right choice. If I played by the stereotype, he wouldn't have came. I know it.
As he watched from a nearby rooftop, Yazu's face dropped.
Yes, fuck you, Yazu. Langqua's amazing. Woo!
I would have never expected that one such as you would have been kind enough to make their way over here. And hopefully this war still goes good with your pressing. But this is a world of magic, and I don't believe that you are able to survive in such a way. It's unfortunate. But even I, too, will have to make a strategy around this. Foreign elements are always the greatest crux in such a plan. As Yazu made his way to the wire-frame staircase that spiraled down the side of this building. His light outfit draped across the ground. As he reached the alleyway. You're keeping me... You have been keeping me waiting for some time, you know. General Yazu. You know, my client, he is a very busy man and has a lot of gigs to play. And I look forward to your client's ever success. But you alone understand that he will be targeted again. Canis won't mess up next time. Yes. And while I have gotten away with it, and I would fight that woman multiple times, I do agree that your peace that the Lady High Priestess offered, this allegiance, may be a good idea. I look forward to hearing his next hit single. He's a star, of course. And a star will be born. Not only on the likes of man, but in the skies above. So he has decided on his wish, has he? Yes, but I'm certain his wish will be achieved even before I present to him the power of a grail. If I am not the Moto lineage most ambitious and cunning of lords. You are something special. For Hindika, I think that this is a perfect and delightful alliance. For my beautiful Hindika, it is a part of your Becky Derai of all things known. The two men silently bow. And General Yazoo. Yes, Moto. If you see that pesky and rather annoying individual who goes by the name of Grexian, and his friend Lawrence, a fat man or something, Lawrence Footman, make sure that you honorably put them out of their esteemed misery. I thought vengeance wasn't a part of the Moto clan's rule. It is not in our rule. But if either one of them keep breaking into my Mixika's career, well, then we're going to have problems. Duly noted, Lord Moto. I'll make sure that Lawrence and Grexian don't bother with Mixika's career. And if this couldn't be twisty enough, Kato Makune smiles.
Oh my god, he wasn't there. This cuts to another scene, right? What the fuck's going on, everyone? Oh my god, I'm gonna get Lang Kwa on my side. He's gonna figure out this political drama. I'm gonna be like, guys, I get it, but stop.
Yazoo was watching Lang Kwa, and Kato Makune was watching Yazoo watching Lang Kwa.
Oh my god, okay, yeah, let's have all that drama. Okay. So, Okay, so like he heard him say that to himself. Freaking Kamakune, you better talk about me. Oh golly, I tricked. Why is Kamakune the one I expect to tell me the most?
Well, Yazoo's just playing behind the scenes in order to make sure the war goes perfectly according to plan so we win. And Yazoo knows that Hiroko Moto and Mitsika has the best chance, so he's stacking the odds and trying to find a way to beat them.
Yeah.
He's using them as essentially a wedge, because we don't have an active servant besides Azori, which obviously we don't want to use our servants. Langqua figured out something, and for some reason he showed up with his two friends, Lady and Guy. Hiroko
Oh,
Moto got a sense of reason in his madness enhancement and got attacked by Canis and realized that he doesn't have the ability to defend against an actual servant properly. So Moto's making a deal with Yazoo in order for them to deal with Canis. But also, as much as Lawrence is missing in action and we don't know where he is messing with Mixika's career for some reason.
huh. This is a big political subterfuge that I was not involved with. Boy, things have gone wild while I was away.
This is like the
I
Cold
was off
War.
having a vacation. Kiku was literally having like a day out at an amusement park, and everyone else doing all the work.
We hired them to do all the work. We did enough in our time. We can just sit back and relax. I mean, of course, Yazoo's doing a lot of work. He's Yazoo. I just don't know. I'm curious to what Langqua is. What is this mystery?
It's the mystery of the Holy Grail War.
It is the mystery of the Holy Grail War, but what actually piqued him of those mysteries? Why is he here?
I actually legit 100% think it's because Honya didn't do either one of those sides. I think it's legit if she were to have yelled at Dyer, if she were to have forgave her, because she hasn't forgiven her. She is doing the middle path.
Realistically, they just left on neutral terms.
It was a mystery sense. But I honestly think if she didn't do that, he would have just disappeared and never showed up again until the very, very end. I legit think there is some sort of play in order to balance the game. Honya just threw it off again.
Honra threw it off again? And we could take that into account because Yazoo's chilling there being like, this is going to shake things up.
I think Yazoo is trying to win the Grail. When we've already discussed that's probably the worst thing we can do.
That's kind of what what the plan was.
Yeah.
We've discussed is the worst thing to do, but Yazoo's still doing the plan.
He's still doing the plan. Where Honra needs to be like, alright guys, what are we doing in life? Like, where are we? Why are we fighting? My retainer's death really shook up my, like, perspective of things, and, like, why are we all fighting? I've talked to, like, Hanku several times, and I still don't know what that strawberry's thinking.
Right.
Why is she with us? She's not with Wayne.
Well, luckily, we get to answer that question.
Next time.
No, this time.
Oh, cool, we're continuing. I wasn't sure.
That's the point where we do usually cut it.
You still have to go at 12, don't you?
Oh yeah, but we're going to have a little bit of a meeting. I technically have to leave at 12.
We're going to see as much of a meeting as we can.
So should we do it as a next time or no? Probably not, eh?
I was just going to do it now because I mean, like,
Okay, sounds good.
I think we have time. If we don't, we can always pick it up.
Yeah. Mid meeting. I like it. Oh, golly. Oh, Dee Dee's with us. That's nice. Oh, it's actually a big family get together. Daya's not with us, I assume.
Dyer is not with us. Dyer has
Thank you for the head pats.
Dyer has been put on both medical watch and a little bit of house arrest.
Okay, good. Okay, I'm so glad because that's definitely what I was gonna do. I was gonna be like, yeah, no, Dyer. I don't like. We can start from zero, but we are starting from zero, and you still have to kind of, not actually. You still did a bunch of crimes that other people need you to pay for.
Card.
And I need
The
to
moment
trust you. We're at zero. It doesn't mean I trust you. We're at zero. We're starting again. And no, yeah, it was house arrest. House arrest is the right thing to do.
the moment that Rescard ended up hearing that from Jacob's report that Dyer was kind of turned terrorist for a hot second there, so she was just put on house arrest.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I would have done that anyways.
The meeting, the outside block down box weekly recap. It's been a couple of weeks since we've been able to have one of these last time. But since Dee Dee could just simply bypass most of the warders anyways, there was no reason of leaving her outside. And Izori, in many ways, just kind of invited herself.
Oh my, this is all the factions we have. This actually kind of puts things into perspective. Even though, like, you could say that there's other people, but, like, this is legit all the different factions.
This is our factions. We do have other factions, but these are the major factions.
Yeah, those who have the most power and influence. Those who have the most ability to actually do things. Honra's the weakest one, but at the same time, Honra still has sway. Honra is the master, and she is the one. Honra's like the one who's there, like the most, like, oh yeah, don't worry, Honra, you're a part of us.
I would arguably say Honor has a lot more sway than you're giving her credit for.
True, but like for actual pushing power, where's my tea set? Where's the table and tea set?
I don't know. Found it.
Perfect. Bring it on over. We need it. She does have a lot of sway,
I would say she does have. I wouldn't. I can't put anyone in the lowest position.
Yeah,
She's just
in
the
a
one who has
way,
the least
Honra is the
combative
connecting
power.
factor, literally to everyone.
Like, she doesn't have physical power. Her power isn't that she can beat people in fights. That's not where Honor's power is. If you're looking at just she can beat people in fights, yeah, Honor's the one that's going to lose that fight. Everyone else here is combatively powerful. But each one of here controls a different margin of power, just general term. Thank you all. Sorry. I'll drink a water before I try and figure out how to do Tenka's voice again. Hydrate. It has been a while since we have last spoken, but I thank you all for coming.
Oh, another hydrate. Another hydrate. Let's do it.
Alright, ready, set,
Andy! Oh,
Andy!
Andy!
Ah, that was a lot of water.
Yeah,
Thank you for hydrate. Ugh.
During our last meeting, we were discussing the inclusion of Lady Azori. It is a pleasure to have you on board. I hope it's more than a pleasure to have me on board. It is by my grace that you're all still standing at the moment. But I will admit that I've taken a liking to some of you.
Aw.
Don't
Always
let
happy
it
to
go to
hear.
your head. This is the first time Azori and Didi have been in a room together, I think.
What?
This is the first time Didi and Azori have been in a room together.
Oh yeah, she sees it. Is she just like playing like the straight face game?
No, she's playing the notable super high priestess, of course. Not that she's a high priestess anymore.
She's such a tsundere in this mode. Oh, I love it. Oh my goodness.
She's gotta be a tsundere because she's gotta look good in front of her. If anything, it's more of a proof that she accepts us as the continuation of Way.
Yeah.
There has been a
Ernest in High
lot that's
Priestess
happened.
mode too. She's just sitting kind of tall and proud, but like not like overly bearing like Izori. I mean, what? I'm not slandering her.
You do nothing but slander her and then call her adorable.
She's adorable though. Look at her. She can't accept her feelings. Oh my goodness, I get it.
We have all accomplished many unique and rather difficult tasks. I would like to start this meeting by nominating both Didi and Honra, as they have recently returned. Tanka passes the lead to Honra and Didi in order for them to explain what the hell went on in Desert Country. Because calling it Desert Country is infinitely funner than calling it its actual name of Amentil.
You spoke of success, but it is unfortunate that it was not actually as successful as we had hoped. Almost passed away, however. We did learn of deaths meddling in the situation. He seemed to have some sort of direct hand with Ormos, as he had become a... Well, he didn't become. He mentioned that he was once a cleric of death, implying their close relations even now within this world.
One of the biggest mistakes you can be making is assuming that either Miles or Death, as he's going by now, is anything more of a puppet than the powers that control him. He may have been an entertaining ally back in my time, but he was hollow and hardly even human. If it's Death that possesses him now, then even if he were in there somewhere, he is playing the role of Death, which is a disgrace to his master, as a retainer should follow its master, even in death, even if that means becoming Death.
Do I know about the mind... just because I have two different characters on this plot point, does Honya know about the mind manipulation by Nima?
Which mind manipulation?
The fact that, like, he was kind of envisioned to be death, so he is death.
He did say something very akin to it, so it's not entirely metagaming to presume.
I just don't want to metagame too hard of, like,
He became death because he was seen as death, was the line that Honra knows.
he delivered a line that he became death because he was perceived as death. And talked about a friend of his who did it to him.
Oh, that of course would be Nima. When Nima ascended to become a sort of pseudo-divinity, what happened was she ended up projecting a certain power onto him when she forsaked her own pseudo-divinity. And think of it kind of like an augmentation. Izori did not know that Nima became pseudo-divinity, and takes a second to correct herself from that.
Oh.
Very well. I still stand by what I say. I don't believe even a pseudo-divinity would have much charge over the will of humanity, especially Wayne. Gods are only able to do as much as they claim they can do. It doesn't give them limitless power over one's soul. You have to accept that to a certain degree. The fact that he accepted being death is even more disappointing. I'll have to punish him when we next meet. On behalf of my brother. I apologize for your loss of Oramos. We will make sure that he is enshrined. I will send some people to collect his body, and we will bury him here.
Thank you. That's been weighing on my mind. Although he did try to shoot me 4 times. And tried to kill me more than just once.
Oramos was nothing but a little dramatic sometimes. But even still, in whatever depths that he fell to, I do not believe that Oramos would have unpromptly had such a reason. If I were to take an assumption, I would believe it was his judgment that was clouded by his bargain. On the other hand, he was, as you said, rather distraught. We could blame this on some supernatural power or accept it for what it likely is. It was simply a flaw in character. One that was unable to become resolved in time.
I believe it's like what Lady Azori had spoken about, that if one does not accept it within their heart, that the divinity would not be able to affect them. That weakness existed and it could be exploited in both Ormos and Ayer.
I heard loosely that Dyer was a part of this trap.
Indeed. She had a chance to smother me, however, and couldn't go through with it. I haven't fully forgiven her myself. However, I don't think she's going to do something like that again.
When we were there, we also noticed that proximity towards the Grail, while it shouldn't have much of an effect, it definitely shows a sign of an effect when Malik Jatar returned to his country. Some sort of suppressive-like field, meaning our operations there are going to be greatly stunted.
Although, I have a sense that if Lady Lazori ever traveled there, being a desert country, she may gain in power.
Of course I would gain in power. The Grail operates based off of, well, one, the likeliness of summoning of an area, and the knowledge of one's being in that area. It's not simply just a power scaling devised upon how important someone was. If the land wasn't acclimated to them, then there wouldn't be any worth summoning them. I bet you if I was summoned in this Amantil place, I would have much more power than almost any of the other servants combined. I imagine you're just experiencing the side effects of not being known very well in that country. Izori looks proud, like she said something smart, because she knows something smart.
Aww. Insightful. Very insightful.
Dee
Definitely
Dee's
shows
actually a
nods of
little
appreciation within
surprised.
that knowledge.
Dee Dee's actually a little surprised by that. Like, that's something she didn't know.
I'll be sure to teach you some other things. You know, while I may have been a very extremely potent high priestess, I was also a very experienced mage.
Izori Caster, 5 stars. Izori Berserker, 4 stars.
Loses a star, has more knowledge.
I guess I'm gonna do a wisdom check just because I want to make sure I got all the information we had. Oh, actually, there is one thing I don't need to roll a wisdom check. Oh. There is a pleasant individual that, if any of you meet, I do hope to enlist their aid. Although, it would probably be another difficult recruitment. Oh fuck, I know his name. Frickin' Langqua. Okay. He goes by the world's greatest detective, Langqua. His skills within insight was quite remarkable, and was able to see through many illusions and fakes. And as long as we're within the right, I'm certain he would join our side.
Then we must keep an eye out for this Langqua. Having a detective on our side would be a good idea. There's a lot of people who have falsehoods, which we have been unable to discern. Even using a power like that to detect whether or not someone's trustworthy prove very effective for recruiting new allies.
Wisdom check as well, just to make sure I get everything while everyone else is talking about it, if anyone else has anything to say. If not, yeah.
Ormos bombed a couple schools. He's behind the bombing of the schools. The fact that Amantil is not a paradise whatsoever, but instead a very, very, very strong distribution of wealth towards the importance. That's not really relevant.
Other. Okay. Anything else? Anything else?
From what Homura can tell, nothing that needs to be brought up here.
Okay, so it doesn't matter about the Amatil or Ormos thing.
The Oramos thing is... Well, let's just not talk bad about the dead. What's happened, and it's not going to happen again. There's no reason to confirm to Kiku that, yeah, Oramos did actively try and kill your entire family.
Yeah. Other than that, I do have something to go ask every one of you at the end of the meeting, but would much rather get the strategy portion done with first.
Yeah. We need to know what everyone has dealt with first. That brings me to my observations. While work in medical is going fine, I was able to secure conversation point with Prince Andrews. From talking with him, I'm sure we can win him over to our side fully.
Oh, you're so excited to talk to this man.
No, Tenka's saying he did talk to him.
Yeah, but like, Hone wants to get set up by talking to him. Honya hope that Tenka set up something. She's excited for the moment where he says, "Yes, he can talk to you, Honya."
The conversation's already happened with them, but yeah.
Well, I hope he set something else up. I don't care if it's like a recruiting talk. I just want to chat with this fool.
We're not allowed to see him.
God damn it! I want to talk to him. I want to see him.
He's like Piki's brother.
He's like Piki's brother, Evil?
No. From what I've gathered from Andrews, is that the Mage Society has gone very unchecked. But recently, it has suffered a series of blows. He is willing to perhaps back our endeavors to win the Holy Grail away from these mages, assuming that we use it for something that he can abide by. I'll have you know that Andrews is a very lawfully abided person, with a good heart. Whatever we decide to do with it, and whoever decides to tell him, best be sure that it will be abided by his heart. I do not wish to trick him into giving false service. I'm sure that could be arranged. Besides, we don't plan to use the Grail for anything particularly evil. And I can respect you not wanting to lie to someone that you respect.
I would be more than happy to inform him what the wish will be used on. It is my duty, after all, to compile everyone's wishes and listen to their voices.
It may be some time, but I will arrange for a meeting with you.
Ah, yes! Fuck you, Tenka! He's gonna have some screen time! Sorry.
And beyond that, we've recently reached 100 staff members, not from Wayne. I'd like to take this moment to quickly go over some of our newest employees. Those that will be helping us in our endeavors. It's annoying, it's long, I'm not reading all of it, but he lists about 100 people, and one of them is Henry.
And is... Oh yeah, Henry. Yeah, Henry! Let's go!
He also does list 2 people we understand and definitely know who they are. We actually get... Gaikus counts as a real employee now.
Woo!
Maryland has been hired.
Woo!
Hyleth has been hired.
Woo!
And Brenton has been hired. They have officially pledged their allegiance towards our company.
Woo!
Our cause, maybe not, but our company for sure.
That's fine, as long as they're on the payroll. They aren't with us right now. They've been demoted to, like, side characters.
They've been demoted to side characters.
Like, legit, this was a hostile takeover of a foreign land. Yeah, we're gonna still be relevant. They aren't relevant anymore.
They're not invited to the meeting, but they're definitely being used properly. But from a loose perspective, Tenka has been able to rack in some pretty good money. And not from a Holy Grail War perspective, the Wayne Institution of Recovery and Building is doing pretty good.
We have stocks in our own company, right?
Stock market is a little weird, but yes, we are betting on ourselves.
Nice. We're gonna get so rich.
We also have bought out the Brackenrich Foundation.
Ha.
I don't know about that, but we did.
Hold on. Did Honier's money actually not help at all?
For what?
With anything. Now, I assume Honier's, like, money and her, like, savings are, like, chump change now.
Well, keep in mind this isn't our fund to work with. This is company funds.
Yeah, I guess so.
The fact that Honra actually has a good amount of money on her own to work with is stuff that we can use. Company
Okay,
funds
that's
have to
good.
be used towards company stuff, which can help us in the end. But you can
Okay.
bet
Just
yourself
wanted
that
to make
Tank is
sure that
not going to
Honier
take
didn't
out $1
waste her
million.
time with, like, you know, everything.
Yeah. Tank is not going to take out $2.6 billion to buy us some magic items because he needs to keep the company running.
Yeah.
It's not his personal funds. It is his personal funds because he owns the company, but it's not.
He can't. He's laundering a bit off the top, and that he wouldn't do that.
A scummy individual would just write it off as a company expense.
But no, if he's paying himself, and that's about it.
He's paying himself a fairly reasonable pay.
Yeah.
Oh my word. Can we just work for Tenka? Does that work?
Can Tenka be the new, like, just overlord of our world?
Get this guy? I mean, sure, he's done some shady stuff, but I mean...
Who cares
I
about
think that
necromancy? Necromancy is, like, not an evil thing to do. Only if you do it evilly. He's not.
He goes over a bunch more business model stuff, which is honestly sounds kind of awful to figure out. I don't need to know who all these different I don't need to know who all these different stockholders are. I don't need to know what their names are. They're not relevant yet. We know we have them.
Yeah. Some people it's gonna be more relevant, like Kimakune when he goes to hunt them down and stab them in the back, but, like,
Yeah, not us.
not right now.
I was able to put a tether on Malik Tatar and keep track of his movements ever since I saw him before he left for Hamilton. We were able to figure out the identity of the assassin class servant as well. The servant goes by the name of Zabayashi. And this has been confirmed. An assassin, normally from a different world, who served, I believe you would know them best, Yazoo, as a member in Trilimba's private force. I know loosely of them. The Shadow Blade of Ignasavi. That is what he went by. He was a ruthless killer who instigated a protocol known as Trial by Midnight, where he would invade into Hinnikin land back when Becky Durai was not properly formed. He would then proceed to kill those who had done different crimes of war against the denizens of Hanazuke and Trolimba. Zabayashi was known as one of the most fearless killers around, and has instated a numerous amount of operatives under his reign. His almost undead-like nature made him impossible to track down, and he lived for many more years than would be expected. If I were to say him as an enemy, he is one of the most dangerous servants that I have seen personally. Not even the Arrow of Midhand, a noble phantasm from one of the first Grail War contestants, would probably be able to touch him, nor my Arrow of the Chosen Fallen. I believe against Zabayashi I am almost entirely powerless, as most of us would be. If we wish to deal with this assassin, we'll need to get him killed by another servant. Kiku finishes the statement of, we'll need to have him killed by another servant.
And I assume the recruiting is not an option since you do not know him personally. So it's best if we play nice with him for a while, at least.
He won't be targeting us directly. Jatar seems to have a sense of honor to him. He's only targeting servants and masters. When I met him, he seemed to wish to recruit me, and he understands Wayne. But he believes himself a form of pseudo-successor. Impudent. From what I understand, he's blessed by the sun.
This sun is a different sun.
No guarantee, but likely.
Like, the sun... Have people stopped worshipping the sun? Has anyone been smited yet?
No one's been smited here. All of the Amantil gods and heathenist individuals, they are pale mockeries of different aspects of our own divinities that we once worshipped. Nothing more than a fake worshipping a fake. If he claims himself to be the successor to Wayne, then he would need my permission to even be considered as such. Else he's nothing more than a petty little boy playing king in a country that hardly even reflects anything that he might wish to accomplish. You all have a better...
like skilled with killing assassins. You can just send those two to attack. No, I'm kidding.
You lot would have a better chance than the sound of this Makar guy. I do believe it will be difficult. My hope is that we can have Zabayashi engaged in the rogue servant, Eshin. Zori's kind of feeling a little left out. Zori
Is
didn't
always feeling left
know.
out. What?
Zori's feeling like she wasn't told this information.
Oh shit! Yeah, yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, actually, that's probably a bad idea to like have that sprung now, isn't it? Right. Okay. Haruna probably will let herself have like that moment of like, oh shit, did we forget? Was there a reason why we didn't tell her?
Trying to win her to our side first, and winning her to side was dissuading her anger. Which, you know, getting her on our side and saying we have to kill Leshin is,
Right.
But in Honra's lapse, Izori actually calms down just
The
by
fact
seeing
that
Honra lapse.
of like, oh shit. My humblest apologies. I forgot to mention that she was a. It is a strange situation that Eshin has appeared, for she is not quite herself and emanates a aura of death. I believe it has something to do with Miles and Nima? Question mark to Didi?
When Nima took upon the divine spark, she wasn't able to hold the entire divine spark that represented living. So she separated it into two parts, life and death. Eshin was given the part of death, while Nima was taken the part of life. I have many words to tell you about how you failed as a retainer to let such a thing happen. But I will let that slide for now. The fact that we have Queen Eshin present means that we've all but won. Have me deal with her, and I shall be able to return her to her senses. And not only will you have a summoned retainer from Wayne, you will have the Queen and the High Priestess. Whatever odds would be ever thrown at us, unless they would be my brothers themselves, stand no chance against our victory. Izori said R. She didn't mean to say R. She now feels a little embarrassed, but she's not showing it.
Oh, so cute. I mean, um. Okay, yeah, Horner is definitely like has a bit of confliction and looks around at everyone else. I assume they kind of are hiding skepticism.
That's very good.
Hmm?
Kiku's a little skeptic. Yasu's a little skeptic. Ketabukune is here for the ride. Tenka seems 100% convinced. I look forward to you being able to win her over to our side. She shouldn't have a master right now, so it's only a matter of time before she turns into a calamity. You have the benefit of outpowering her when it comes to a mana supply. If we can leave this to you, Izori actually drops her facade for a moment, kind of perks up, and is a little bashful. Of course. Honora finally is able to actually read an emotion from Izori, which isn't just pure perfect. And that emotion is respect.
Towards Tenka or what? Oh, it's 12.
It is 12, so that's the line we're ending on. It's not
Okay,
respect
cool. Thank.
towards Tenka. It's the feeling of genuine respect towards her from Tenka, which is almost in some ways kind of foreign.
What?
which is almost in some ways kind of foreign to her.
Boring?
Foreign,
Oh,
not normal.
foreign. Oh, she's not used to receiving respect? Neat.
And that's what we'll call it for today. Thank you
Gosh
all
darn
for
it.
tuning
Yeah,
in.
this was the perfect recap episode. That would have been a great end. Okay, go. I'm just going to end stream because I'm not going to have time to raid people and all that stuff because D&D streams are kind of weird. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for everyone who chilled. Thanks for the lurkers. More regular stuff eventually. Probably through the weekdays.
Yay! Peace, peace!
Sayonara, peace.